Okay, so this is a very quick little video to walk through this question here. It's already worked out for us in the book, but I just want to show you exactly where we're getting things from. So I have the plan elevation and the vertical trace and horizontal trace set up there already. And it wants us, first of all, to find the cut shape of this object. So the very first thing we need to do is we need to set an x1, y1 up perpendicular to that horizontal trace to get an auxiliary elevation of the shape. x1, y1. Now we can bring all my points up parallel to the trace from plan, and I'm going to get my heights then off of my elevations. So the apex is this way. So follow my apex up. Dotted on the back of the shape. I'm going to be going down. They all go up to the apex thing. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to find this vertical trace up here, the cutting plane, so I can fully finish in my dotted lines here on my object that I know that's solid and dotted. So I'm going to pick any height, any point here on this trace. I'm going to draw a line straight down in the elevation, and I'm going to call that H. Now where this line hits the XY line, I'm going to go up parallel to this horizontal trace. It just happens to run right through this corner here, and I can get this distance. Follow my line up parallel to the trace, so up here, follow it up there. I can bring this up parallel to find where it starts, so it's going right through my object. Okay. So that's my cutting trace. So I know this is dotted down to corner 1 because the cutting plane is a cut off. Dotted in this top section and it's solid here. Dotted all the way down to here. And my second one. It's going to be dotted all the way as well because it just puts it off underneath it. And that's solid. This is dotted here as well. So that's the auxiliary now gotten in with the cut as well, showing us the cut. Now my next thing is to label my drawing. Okay, so everywhere that cut line crosses a line on the shape, I'm going to label it. for ease here, for you when you're looking back on the video and looking at the book, I'm going to label it the same as the book. So the first one here across, that's 1. Crosses 2. There. Crosses 6. Here. 5. 4. There. And it crosses 3 just here at the vertical one. 3. All I'm going to do now is bring these points back to their corresponding point around here and I'm getting in this cut shape. So how do we bring the lines back? We bring them at the exact same angle we brought them up at, parallel to that horizontal trace from the auxiliary elevation. So, point 1 is on the auxiliary elevation. Okay, so we can bring that back to point 1, which is down here. So that's 1 down there. Okay, because it's a straight line there. In the plan, we're just going to see it as a point view. So that's point 1. So 2 gets brought straight back. Two. Three. 4. So that's 3 and 4 there. 5 is now on my angle line, so that's 5. So that's 0.5, that's 0.6. Okay, so it's just a matter of joining these in. No, so 1 to 2. 2 goes up to 5. 5 across to 6. 6 down to 4. 4 to 3. And it continues on around the shape there then. Okay? So, just do it in the colour. So that is now the cut section in plan. So now I have to find what it's going to look like in elevation. Okay. So 1 or 2 little, I suppose, difficulties you could say arise in the elevation. Okay. So where the lines are angles, so this one here, 5 and 6, that can be brought up straight away 5 and 6. For the points of such as 1, 2, 3, 4, them kind of points. 3 and 4, okay, actually they're angle ones. It's 1 is the biggest one really. Yeah, 1 is our biggest one. Okay. So for this point here, we don't know exactly where on this line the cut is stopping. So it's stopping up here, stopping down here. Okay. What we can use is we can use our principles we learned earlier for carrying point. So parallel to the horizontal. So from point 1, parallel to the horizontal trace till it hits the XY line. Where it hits the XY line, we're going to go straight up till we hit the second trace, till we hit the vertical trace. Then we're going to go straight across here till we hit line 1. So that now is point 1 in elevation. Point 2, you brought it straight up till it hits my line, so that's 2. 5 can get straight up till it hits the line. That's 5. 6 can get brought straight up till it hits our line. 6. So I have 1, 2, 5, 6. So it's just 3 and 4 now that I'm missing. So 3 comes up till it hits our line, and 4 comes up till it hits our line. So 3 there, and 4 there. Okay, so we can draw this in. So what's in here? Down to 4. Plus to 3. Plus to 2. Plus 5. To 6. It all goes down to 2. And to 1. So that now is our cut section in elevation. So that's part A of the question answer, right? Now it wants a true shape of that cut section. So what I find the easiest way to find this true shape is to set up a second x1, y1, so an x2, y2, parallel this cut, bring our point straight out, and then we'll go back 1 view, 2 view to get our sizes. So I think that's the easiest method to do it. So set up my x2, y2, parallel with this original cut. I'm going to bring all my points out perpendicular to that x2, y2, so 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now I need to go back 2 views, so 1 view, 2 view. So the distances I'm going to be getting from my x1, y1 back to my plan. But if you remember from the very first chapter we done, there's a big large distance here that's going to take my shape way out over here. I don't want that. I want to try to keep it close to the x2, y2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line parallel to that x1, y1. I'm going to draw it as close as I possibly can to the plan, and I'm going to call that a datum line. So I can draw it right through this corner here. I'm going to call that a datum. That just shortens all my distances for me. Now what I'm going to do is get my distances for each point from the datum line back to the plan. So that's 1. 2, 5, 6, 7. So I have to extend some of my points here. So that's 1 anyway. 2, 3, 5, and 6. So I can just join this in then. So this here now is the true shape of the cut surface. So that's the question completed there then.